Time for another true crime story, and one that's been back in the headlines more than 30 years after the original crime.
David Wilson is here to tell us more. We've been grilling him over
Yes.
the break, haven't we? We've been talking about it already.
Gripping.
And, David, we're talking about the Menendez brothers this morning.
Yeah.
Who are they?
OK, so very simply, Lyle and Eric Menendez, brothers, who are going to be convicted of having murdered their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, in August 1989 in Beverly Hills, so an aspirational part of California. So this has never been a whodunit. The brothers clearly kill their parents, but it has been a whodunit. Why did they do it? The brothers claim that they did this as a form of self-defense because they had been being sexually abused by their father, which the mother, Kitty, seemingly was aware of the sexual abuse, but did nothing about it. And so they kill their parents because they're frightened that their father will kill them so as to prevent the sexual abuse becoming public. So that's why they claim they kill their parents. That they go to trial twice. On the second occasion, they are convicted of first-degree murder. They're serving life without the possibility of parole. They've currently served 34 years, and now their lawyer, the wonderfully named Mark Geragos, is saying that there is new evidence that might result in a resentencing, not that they're going to be found not guilty, but a resentencing of them, which will mean that they can be released as opposed to serving life without parole. And that's why there's so much renewed interest in the case.
And also the Netflix drama,
Yeah.
Monsters, which has just been a huge hit globally.
So Monsters is part of that franchise that we know from Ryan Murphy, Ian Brennan. The first of the Monsters series was about Jeffrey Dahmer. After the Menendez brothers, it's going to be about Ed Gein, the serial killer Ed Gein, played by Charlie Hunnam. And effectively, this 9-part series on Netflix dropped in September. It has a Rashomon effect. It's going to show you different perspectives, the perspective of the parents, the perspective of the brothers, a journalist, and also the police.
There's just so much to talk about, whether you've seen that series or not. I mean, because the fascinating thing, so that's a 9-parter.
9-parter. I would say episode 5 is the standout episode for me. It's one shot, just the camera following Eric Menendez and what Eric Menendez says to his lawyer about the abuse he experienced. Remember, though, Eric Menendez was in therapy and never once raised the fact in therapy that he had been being sexually abused. So this is where some of the controversy about whether or not they were sexually abused or not.
Well, there was the time when the first trial was going on and people were making jokes about it. It was on the Jay Leno show. It was like all different things.
Every late-night show in America, they were just laughing at them,
Yeah,
weren't they?
people didn't believe it. How much of the case is actually real in the right? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot in the drama that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And in particular, the drama concentrates both on the shooting of the parents in August 1989 and also their subsequent trials. So what's really graphic in the drama is that you will see Eric and Lyle go into their parents' house. Their parents were watching television. They'll take in shotguns and they will shoot at point-blank range both their mother and their father. They shoot their mother 10 times. They shoot their father 6 times. This is what we call parricide. There's overkill, and overkill means that they're using more violence than is necessary to achieve what it is they want to achieve, which is to kill their parents, which does indicate there may have been some psychological motivation behind what it was that they did.
So last night, Annie and I watched the documentary that has now been released about Monsters, about these two brothers. And the interesting thing is, as well, David, and maybe you can explain how on earth this can happen, the brothers voice this documentary on their phone from prison.
And of course, the brothers have been very critical about the drama.
Yeah.
They say it's character assassination. They're much more in favour of the documentary, and the documentary does have them narrating particular parts, as you say. And they do that simply by the production company recording what they're saying at the time. American rules related to access to the media are very different to the rules related to access to the media in this country.
Watching the trial take place, and you're watching actual trial footage, because of course they have that as well, and the boys having to talk about what their father subjected them to. But of course, The prosecution called that the abuse excuse.
We'd never, ever, ever hear those kinds of phrases these days. And of course, the prosecution at one stage claimed that it was impossible for a boy to be raped. You know, so we're back in the late 1980s, early 1990s, where there was just a presumption that sexual abuse and boys didn't really exist. Oprah did so much.
Amazing
She
show.
did a big show, didn't she, where all the different gentlemen stood up with pictures of themselves as, like, little boys that have been abused.
And of course, that's part of the new evidence. Mark Geragos, the lawyer, is going to say that he has new evidence in relation to a letter that had been written by Eric in 1988, so prior to the murder itself, and in particular, a member of a boy band that was being managed by Jose Menendez has come forward now to say that he had been sexually abused by Jose Menendez. But we've got the lawyer, Mark Geragos, talking about this new evidence that's being presented to the DA in Los Angeles. And we've got a clip of the lawyer speaking.
We presented two pieces of evidence. The one was a letter from Eric to Andy Cano, which predates the killings by 8 months. The other was a declaration by Roy Rosello, who is another victim of Jose. The combination of those two, we believe, provide more than ample basis to set aside the result of the second trial.
So this is now going to be really interesting and could change the sentencing. But also, Kim Kardashian's drawn loads of attention to this case because, in actual fact, her father was a really powerful lawyer.
Yeah.
And also, she'd probably lived round the corner from this family too.
Oh, I think there's a circle in
Drive.
which the Kardashians would have encountered, without doubt, the Menendez. But Kim Kardashian's advocacy that the brothers should be resentenced, coupled with a TikTok campaign. Listen, I teach first-year students. They'll all be watching now. They want to talk about the Menendez brothers case all the time. That kind of TikTok generation has really picked up on they should be resentenced. But I think what we've got to be careful of here are that this is a real crime. Yeah. This was a parricide. 2 people lost their lives in really dreadful circumstances. And now, you know, you might have a belief that the brothers should be resentenced, but that's not evidence, that's not fact. And so we've got to wait until the LADA, act called George Gascon, actually looks at the evidence to see if they're innocent.
The prosecution maintained that the brothers constructed this idea that they were facing this abuse from their father for the sake of the trial to try and find some leniency. They said they did it, but they did it for a reason. If this evidence points to the fact that actually this was way before anything happened, that they were writing to their aunt about it, there was another young boy who was in a boy band that had been abused by their father.
They told their mother too.
They told them, but yeah, I mean, if it does come to resentencing, David, what does that mean for the Menendez brothers?
It probably will mean they are released, to be perfectly honest. They've served 34, 36 years, and so they will be resentenced, and instead of them facing life without parole, they probably would get parole.
And life in America means staying in for the whole of their lives.
As it does, there's a whole life tariff in Britain as well. So it would mean they would spend the rest of their life in prison, whereas, in fact, if they're resentenced, the chances are they will be released.
OK, well, we were gripped, weren't we?
Really
Netflix, the documentary and the drama.
Yeah,
it's
David, it's always great having you in.
Thank
you
you
for coming and sharing that.
Thank you. Well, I could sit chatting to you.
Yeah, we could, couldn't we?
I could just get a nice cup of coffee and
to all your first-year students that are watching, get back to work.
You're very lucky. He's brilliant. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
Join us now. Good morning to both of you. I mean, I don't know how you do this. First of all, you live on a cemetery, on the grounds of a cemetery.
Yeah.
That's your house there.
And we've been there for
house.
13, was it 12 or 13 years?
Yeah.
But when we moved in, we pulled up, Bex found the house and we pulled up to the postcode and we're like, oh, this is in a cemetery. So
we turned round, went back out. The guy was standing there waving, going, come in, come in.
Bex, are you a bit scared of things like that?
I'm terrified of that, and I think this is the wrong thing to be doing for me. I think I'm in the wrong profession.
You're just doing it because of it?
Because of it, yeah. He coerced me into doing it.
It's all about you, isn't it?
It's all about him.
I'll tell you that.
So where did the idea of this whole thing start in that because you were quite a sceptic originally, right?
Yeah, and I still am on different things because we see a lot of stuff. So we debunk a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff that we produce on the shows that we make on Ghost Dimension, we don't show people because it's like maybe an orb, which is like dust, or a noise which could be a floorboard creaking. So I'm always sceptical, and so is Bex. But some of the stuff that we capture is fantastic.
Has anything really got to the point where you're like, I am really scared? This is scaring me.
To be honest, I mean, I'm scared of everything. I don't watch scary movies because I'm scared of everything. But the one thing that stood out in my mind as being the most scariest thing ever was we were at 30 East Drive.
Yeah.
And I was 21 weeks pregnant at the time. I don't know how I did it. The doors, we were calling out on a piece of equipment called the portal. And it was like this.
This it?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
So this is
Talk us through this.
It was like a portal. You can hear the portal. It's like a growl comes through. And then these doors just flew open. I couldn't believe it. I was shaking.
I heard that.
And there's a noise at the top. And then the door opened. I was terrified. I said to Sean, look, I'm sitting the rest of this out. Film it without me. Because
and you were pregnant
I was 21 weeks pregnant. That was my last show because I was it terrified me. And even to this day, I can't watch that without feeling a bit sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
because I wasn't expecting that. Nobody was expecting it at all.
Where did the interest in the paranormal come originally? Was it as kids or watching horror films or?
Well, we didn't really. We obviously as children, not as children. We grew up, obviously believe in bits and pieces. But then when we moved into this house, we went to a ghost hunt at Tatton Park, and it was Halloween, and me and Bex had no experience of the industry, and we turned up full fancy dress.
We're just like fun people. That's what you do, isn't it?
And
no.
They looked at us and they went, "What are you doing?" It's Halloween, it's ghost hunt. We both went as vampires with blood dripping down.
You know, everything Halloween-y. And they just like slow panned on us when we came in and we were like,
and so they're like being properly serious.
Like properly serious, taking it really
It's not a joke.
No.
So tell us a bit about what you found in your house. So have you got one ghost, two ghosts?
We've got a few, but
I think there's a few.
There's one ghost which is called Ginge that lives in the house.
Yeah.
How do you know his name's Ginge?
Well, we didn't know originally. But Isabella,
When we first moved there.
When we first moved there, saw somebody standing in her room, and she described this figure.
I know.
To us, well, to Bex.
It was just me and her. Sean was out at work. I was unpacking, as you do, unpacking the boxes. She runs through and she goes, "Mummy, Mummy, Mummy, there's a man in the house." First thought, oh my God, there's somebody in the house.
Yeah.
So I run through with her. I was like, "There's nobody here." And she said, "No, he's there. He's in the closet." So I open the closet, nobody there, empty. Then she goes, I said, "Is he still there?" She goes, yeah, he's still there. He's screaming at me. I said, "What's he saying?" He's saying, "Get out of my house."
Bex, is that not enough for you to go,
Honestly,
we're getting out of this house?
I got out of the house. I left. I said, "Right, get your stuff, get out." I said, "What does he look like?" She goes, "He's got red hair, but it's sticking up."
And once again, not scary at all. So, but is that not enough to go, we've got to leave this house?
Well, that's what I said to Sean. I said, "Look, I don't think we've done the right decision. We were a young family. She was 3 at the time." I was thinking, should we move on? But
And
he was
also,
like,
did the people disclose this to you?
No.
They didn't?
No.
Because you
So we
should
just
really,
turned
shouldn't
up.
you?
Maybe they didn't know.
Well, it was on the market for 12 years before we bought it.
Maybe they did know.
Yes, they knew.
12 years before we bought it.
I mean, do
It's
any
beautiful.
of your friends and family even come to your house to see you?
They used to.
Not anymore.
They
Because
don't come.
my mum used to stay in the 3rd floor, because there's 3 floors up there. And she woke up in the middle of the night with a figure standing over it, staring at
touching
it,
her face like this. She was like terrified. She froze.
So she repeated that back to the family, and they're like, "Oh,
They didn't come.
And what do your
we'll
friends
come."
and family think?
Not that.
Well, obviously, we have to ask the question, like, what do people think? People are cynical about this, or what do they say? What do you say to them?
You've got to see it, be there
Yeah.
to
To
believe
it, yeah.
Yeah, unless you are physically there on a location when something happens, it's okay watching it back.
Yeah.
And you can say, it's not real, it didn't happen, but you've got to be there in that moment for it to witness it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of cynics out there, isn't
There
there,
is.
who will look at that and go, "Oh, somebody
Oh, whatever.
opened the
Yeah,
door,
yeah,
pushed the
yeah,
door
yeah,
open."
yeah.
What would you say to those cynics out there?
Basically, you've got to be there to believe it. You've got to experience it for yourself to actually believe it, because you know, we were once that person that said, "Oh, this has been done, this has been." We still are that people, aren't we? We still look at things on TV and go, "Is it real?"
If you are that way inclined, I always think as well that just having spiritual ghosts doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. They just exist. Like some of them are at peace, some of them aren't at peace. I think if you believe in it, that's the way you've got to look at it.
Do they leave you alone now, do you think?
We're sort of numb to it, I think, especially in the house. We're accustomed to it.
So when you say that, you'll hear a noise and you're like, oh, it's just one of the ghosts.
Yeah, it was only last week I heard footsteps in the hall when we were sitting in one of the other living rooms, and I was like, what's that? Thought it was a child getting up from bed. No.
Just talk us through what we've got here.
So this is some of the equipment that we use on the show. So we
shall listen to some of this.
I've seen all this. Remember I did Haunted Mansion?
Oh, yeah.
And so I know all this stuff. We used this one here.
Oh, the K2?
Yeah. And then it goes red.
Yeah, red.
There's someone there.
Yeah. Well, we've got K2 meter, we've got singing bowls, which that's about monk bowls.
That's my favourite.
What does that do?
It sounds beautiful.
But it changes the vibration.
It's very loud. Very, very loud.
Do you put water in it, or is that...
No, so you tap it with this, look, we call this the whacking stick.
Yeah.
And you tap it, and it makes it, and you go around the rim of it, and it starts to produce a sound. And it changes the vibrational energy, we believe, in the atmosphere. And it always helps for us to capture and communicate better, you know, so when we're on an investigation filming for the series, we use it all the time. And we have a chant as well that we play throughout the series.
Yeah.
Sean and Bex, this is honestly unbelievable. And obviously you can see more of this on your brand new show. All seasons of Ghost Dimensions are available to watch on STV, Player and Pluto TV. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So
thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.
Now then, 10:23. Our next guest is one of the country's most legendary hairdressers, from his high-profile salons to his successful line of products. He's also cut and styled the hair of countless Hollywood superstars during his extraordinary 50-year career.
In 1974, Trevor Sorby's famous hairstyle, the wedge, became the first hairstyle to ever be given a double-page spread in Vogue, cementing him as one of the world's best stylists. And in 2004, he was selected by the Queen to become the first hairdresser awarded with the prestigious MBE.
However, 5 years ago, Trevor received the life-changing news that he had bowel cancer. And last year, he was forced, sadly, to give up hairdressing due to the side effects from chemotherapy.
Despite multiple treatments and surgeries, Trevor joins us today alongside his wife, Carol, with the sad news that his cancer has spread. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Trevor, Carol, thank you for coming in. We've been reminiscing as we sit here.
We have.
Because Trevor and I worked together in the early 2000s, doing a makeover for the Rain show down in Bristol.
Yeah.
You travelled with Trevor.
Yeah, we travelled together,
90s.
went to Hong Kong. He was doing hair for a fashion show that we were all doing with Richard Branson. He was such a gentleman to us all back then that we actually all called him Sir Trevor of Sorby. And that was way before an MBE or anything else, because he was just such a lovely man to us.
It's an extraordinary career, Trevor, that you have had, that I imagine you've taken time to sort of look back a little bit and take in what you've achieved, because it wasn't necessarily what you were going to do in the first place to become a hairdresser, was it?
No, I wanted to be an artist, but I got bullied at school, and my dad was a barber, and he said, come in the salon in the barber shop, and this is like factory workers, just short back and sides, no styling or anything. And I found hairdressing easy. 3 months I was just cutting people's hair. I went from paint to hair, but both on a creative sort of journey.
And you were prolific in the 70s. The wedge and the scrunch dry you created as well. That was your...
I mean, they're all things now that you kind of take for granted.
Yes.
There's all stuff that's so sort of normal. But back then, they were groundbreaking, Trevor.
Yeah, and at the time, you don't know you were groundbreaking anything. You're just doing what you feel natural. I mean, how I invented scrunch drying was a bit of an accident, but I'm going to take, well, all the credit.
Yeah, right too.
Run with it.
I had this lady with long, thick, red, porous hair, and these were ladies at lunch and, you know, that type of atmosphere. And she wanted it dried with my hands, you know. And I said, look, can I speed this up a little bit? And she said, OK. And anyway, I just got handfuls of the hair and I just put the hairdryer in, held it, and then I just shook it out. And this hair just came out like a haystack. And I experimented on different types of hair, fine, thick, thin, and it worked every time. And
wow.
It was an accident that
has gone on.
And you know, every woman in the world at some point has scrunched their hair.
I have.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
So look, well, you have achieved so much, Trevor, and I was so sad to hear of your diagnosis. But I know you've got this extraordinary outlook on life, and you've stayed very, very positive. But in terms of where you are with your health, can you just explain how things are right now?
Yeah. Well, I think Carol will probably take you through the process because my memory bank's not that great. It started...
Well, we got the news back in June that, you know, he only really had a few months, maybe 6 back then. So both were in a bit of denial at that point. And then you have the last scan, which was September, and that's when you realise there's no treatment is going to work. So,
it all started actually going to be a bit sort of blunt here, but I lost a lot of blood one night, and I was unusually disturbed about that. Went to hospital, sent me to London, and they said, Mr. Sorby, you got bowel cancer. And I went, oh. And I had a little panic attack in the office. And came out of there, and I looked at Carol, and she looked at me, and we were both speechless. We were just walking down the road, you know, like, I didn't know what to say. Yeah. So I went and had a big gin and tonic. And that helped.
It did, I bet it did.
It loosened my tongue.
The medicinal power of gin.
Yeah. And then it spread to my liver. And there's a 6.5-hour operation. And it came back to my liver, another 6.5-hour operation. And there's one, the big one that's still there now. It's the surgeon won't cut it out. It's too close to a major blood vessel. Right. So I said, by the way, I said, how big is the liver? He said, well, it's about that big. I said, how big's mine? He went, well, about that big. Because I have to cut right around it and everything.
Yeah.
But, you know, the thing is, with me, I never wake up thinking, oh, poor me, I've got cancer, I feel sorry for myself. I know I've got it here, but I haven't got it here. And I go to work, well, up until 2 weeks ago, 2 days a week. And I go there because that's my medicine. That is my life, 60 years. I've worked passionately to achieve beyond my wildest dreams, actually. And when I go in, it's my staff. I've had them for up to 30 years. They're family. I'm just one of the team. But I won't accept. I had a nurse the other day come around to assess me. And I said, will I make Christmas? She said, I don't know, Trevor. I said, I damn well will. I damn well will.
I think, Carol, you're so incredibly positive, Trevor. So it's incredible. I think it must be so incredibly hard for you as well.
Totally overwhelming on most days. But I get my strength through this man. He's guiding me through a good death.
Yes.
Lorraine touched on that on one of her programmes. Living a good life, dying a good death. And up until then, I hadn't thought about that. But what we do every day now, we're thankful for the day that we have, that we wake up together, and it's all the simple things. Our little dog is pure medicine. We've got a wonderful family. We are supported by the whole Trevor Sorby family, which some of his staff members have worked for him 30 years, 25 years. There's more than 20 people that have worked for him up in those numbers that are family, and we're all being guided by Trevor.
And are you caring for you too? Because you have to be so strong as the person who takes care of your partner too. Are you caring for you as well?
At the beginning, when we first got the diagnosis, as you know, treatment's finished, we can't do any more, I really was struggling. I couldn't be as strong and as brave. I'm crying all the time. Wasn't safe to be out really, and I kept myself at home. But Trevor and my son both encouraged me to go to counselling. I thought,
a great idea, actually.
Why? I've never been anxious, and I've actually started bereavement counselling, which I didn't know you could do before. And they're going to guide me through, hold my hand, and up until 2 years or however long it takes after the event. So I feel very supported, very lucky I have that support, but more so from Trevor than anyone. Because he's incredible.
You're a team.
Yeah.
You're a team.
Trevor, it's a real treat for us to have you on today, for you to be so honest and share such devastating news, but equally for us to be able to touch base and celebrate what an extraordinary life. And there's a reason those people have worked for you for 25, 30 years, because you have such generosity of spirit. You're such a joyous person to be around. But there will be people watching at home today wondering, you know, if you could give them some advice about life and about how you're dealing with things, or just anything, what you might say to them.
The brain rules the body. The heart plays a big part as well, but that is the engine room. And putting yourself... Because I've got a charity and I've helped many women through cancer, cutting wigs for them and doing all of that. People handle it in different ways. There is no one way, no right way, wrong way. It's however that person deals with it. If you get this right, because I believe the mind is stronger than any other, function. And it's easy for me to say, get that right. People say, well, how do you do that? Well, I don't know is the answer, but it's the way I'm made, I guess. But you can fight this. And doctors have even said, Trevor, you know, you're breaking medical science. You shouldn't be here right now. I'm like, I ain't going nowhere, mate. I'm squeezing it in. And, that, you know, the most important thing is, like, last night, we went out and just had a lovely dinner. You know? And then the other week, I said to Carol, should we be teenagers? And
you didn't get all smoochy, did you? Did you get a bit smoochy?
Always.
Oh, I love it.
Back row. No, we went and saw a film, which was rubbish, actually. But then we went and had a pizza afterwards. Do you know what I mean? Just being young. And just
simple,
for sure. It's like you mentioning the dog. It's all that.
Yeah,
it's all that.
Look, it's. I don't want this to end. I don't want the conversation to end, but I'd never want it to end, Trevor. It's been a real privilege to have you as a small part of my life and professional life as well, and to see the joy that you've brought to so many people, and your legacy and the charity, My New Hair that's still going on, and the people that you have helped and supported along the way, and your energy and your positivity and your light will continue to shine so strongly, Trevor. Thank you for coming in and being here. And Carol, thank you as well.
Thank you for having
You're
us.
a lovely team.
Thank
You're
you.
a lovely team.
Still twinkling.
Yeah. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Well, the head of National Trading Standards Scams team, Louise Baxter, is here to share her advice in just a moment.
First, let's talk to the two women we just saw in that clip, Wendy Stubbs and Christine Spencer. Good morning, ladies.
Good
morning.
Lovely to chat to you in makeup earlier on this morning. I was just saying how beneficial this documentary is for other people out there. Wendy, let's start with you. So you were married, and then 4 years after you were married...
Something like that, yeah.
You met Christian?
Yep, on a dating site, yep.
And what happened?
He was perfect. He was there to save me. He was there to... Not that I needed saving, but I needed somebody to share things with, and holidays and things, and he liked holidays, and he said he liked everything that I liked. And I thought, crikey, this man's brilliant. And, yeah, we had some good times. And we had fun. He was fun to be with.
Yeah.
But looking back, he was just a mere actor.
Yeah, he was a con man.
Yeah.
And Christine, you met the same chap, but kind of by chance, just in a hotel reception?
Yeah, that's right. I was checking in to the hotel because I was working away from home.
Yeah.
And this gentleman was just stood to the side and says to me, "Hi, how are you? Are you checking in?" "Yeah." And start talking to him. And like Wendy's just said, very sort of a familiar person, wanting to sort of chat to anyone and everyone, which is, I enjoy talking to people. Came across very friendly, likeable. And he said, "Oh, who are you checking in with? Are you checking in with your partner?" No, it's a work colleague. They're sort of working with me on the same contract. "Oh, right, OK." And, yeah, and then kept seeing him around.
Were you, Christine, were you looking to find somebody to share your life with as well, like Wendy was?
I wasn't. No, this came totally out of the blue. I was recently sort of coming out of a relationship, wasn't looking for another relationship. He happened to be there. And, yeah, sort of...
It's fascinating to hear the approach, because he met you on a dating app.
Different,
He's
right?
clearly worked out, Christine. He's targeted you. He's obviously got this modus operandi that he goes through. He also, Wendy, to add to the sort of idea that he was perfect and too good to be true, he told you he was a lottery winner as well, didn't he?
Yes, yeah, but not straight away, because not that... I didn't need anybody else's money.
No.
Because...
You were independent?
I was independent, yeah.
Yourself,
but that was like an added bonus, if you like, when he saw things and he says, "Oh, I can pay this."
So he saw your credit card bill, he saw some finance on the motor.
But he'd already done that.
Yes,
he'd already. So he kind of lulled you into this false sense of security.
Yes, exactly.
Because he paid off your credit card.
He paid off my credit card.
Then was it your rent or your mortgage?
He didn't pay my rent. He went to take my rent to the landlady for me, because I was in between, like, moving house and everything else. So I was in disarray anyway. So there's papers all over and bills and changing your name and address and things. So he just picked things up and thought, "Oh, yeah, I'll pay this." I said, "Well, no, don't." Well, they're like, "No, stop." And then before you know it, he's on the phone. "Oh, what do you want my numbers?" And it was so real, so real. And then it was like, I think it was Sunday morning in bed, and making a cup of tea. I have a cup of tea in bed. And he says, "Well, we don't have to worry about money." I says, "Well, I always worry about money. Even though I'm independent and pay for everything myself and do everything myself, you still worry about it, don't you? Thinking, how much is that holiday going to cost? I want to go on that holiday," and things like that. But he says, "We don't have to worry about it." And I said, "Why? What are you talking about?" And he says, "Well, I like you because you like me." And I thought, well, OK. And he says, "Yeah," he said, "I'm actually... I've got quite a bit of money." And I said, "Well, OK." He says, "Yeah, I won the lottery. I bought the lottery ticket from a garage service station." Did he tell you it was from a service station? Yeah, from a service station. And then he says, "I didn't know until I got back to my house in Cornwall that I'd actually won it."
And that's where he told both of you, I think, where he lived.
He lived, yes.
In deepest stars,
Rock Road, Cornwall.
In Rock, which I know very well.
Yes.
So, Christine, we've got Wendy's painting this picture of this very charming, too good to be true, opportunist, lovely guy to be around, making you feel really special and taking care of you, which is something that you said was lovely. How was it for you? It wasn't very long before he turned around to you and said, "I think we should get married," was it?
Yeah, it was
about 3 weeks into sort of, let's call it the relationship.
Yeah.
And it's very similar. I like you because you like me.
At least his lies were consistent.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And how would you feel about getting married? No, whoa, you know, that's just a bit too...
Well, 3 weeks, yeah.
Soon, yeah. Let's see sort of how it goes. But, no, he was sort of determined to sort of take that forward and kept mentioning it. I'm going to go and buy you a ring. Well, don't you need my ring size? No, don't worry. I'll... sort of sort it out, and if it needs to get sort of made bigger or smaller, no, we can never materialise.
Can I add that was my money that he bought the ring with?
Well, but then in the same breath, he took money from Christine
for the next one.
And for the business. He said to you, I'm starting this business in Barbados. He made everything very glamorous. He drove a Maserati, and then he asked you to invest money in there.
Correct, yeah. So it was a big investment that he was sort of looking for, and I was like, well, it's not really my cup of tea, but it was going to be a big sort of build this sort of airstrip, build a hotel, and it was going to set this hotel up and have sort of boats on the quayside, and yes, wanted me to be part of it, wanted to pay me sort of a lot of money sort of each year. At this stage, I didn't know that he'd won the lotto,
right,
technically. Not. Sort of throwing in all the extra little bits. And can I do this? Can I do that? Even got a contract sort of made up to make it official. And I did take it to someone and I said, just check this out because I'm a little bit sort of...
nervous,
I don't know whether this is for me.
Technical
That's
jargon.
right. Oh, no, it looks OK. And he wanted my signature on it. Let's go to the solicitor. But when we get to the solicitor, he leaves me sat in the car and I'm going, OK, I should be there. You need my signature. And, you know, I get out of the car to see where he's going, but he doesn't go into a building, he goes down an alleyway. And then I go back to the car and I'm thinking,
Didn't go in there.
Never went in.
Never went in.
Louise, we'll come to exactly what happened in a moment, but this is all too common. That piece that the Cat and I were saying on the way in, £3.8 million was lost to scams. That's just one bank in the UK in 6 months of this year.
The City of London police reported it was 92 million last year, and 8,000 plus people reported the fact they were a victim of romance fraud. The problem we have is these ladies are particularly courageous because they're talking about it and reported it. Lots of people don't report it because there's a whole world of blame and shame that comes with it because they feel like it's their fault or they feel like, oh, that wasn't a scam, that wasn't fraud. So it's really, really hugely underreported. So we think about between 5 and 30% of people report it, so it's a much bigger problem.
Yeah. So Louise, how do we stop it? What should we look out for? What are the red flags?
How can we protect ourselves?
Yeah.
If things start to move too quickly, like Christine said, 3 weeks, if somebody's going, let's get married, like trying to lock you down to try and get married. And Wendy and I were talking before we came on here around things like isolation and how Christine was saying, like, things like deleting telephone numbers, controlling your phone, looking at your phone, trying to isolate you and sort of keep you like in a little secret club. Things like investment opportunities. They invite you into the lifestyle. Oh, my God, I've got this amazing investment opportunity. But they don't actually ask you to invest, but they just talk about it all the time. So you end up inviting yourself into the investment opportunity because you're in a partnership. And then, so that the relationship will move quite quickly. Those are sort of some red flags where people are trying to get you isolated very, very quickly. All of that love bombing and telling you the things which then make us feel more vulnerable because actually we all just want to be loved and that's all right. And then we play into that and then we don't want to talk about that. So that isolation, because when you start to speak to a trusted person, a friend, a neighbour, a colleague, they have a far more objective viewpoint about it and they will start to go, what do you mean they said that?
This sounds a little bit,
Which, because we can't see it when we're in it, because we're being abused. No. It's abuse. We need to call it. It's emotional abuse. Coerced, control, grooming. It's emotional abuse, as well as the criminal aspect of it. So we need to be kinder to the victims. to ensure that we get that they get the right support. So we don't go, why did you fall for that? You wouldn't go, why did you fall for a mugging?
No, exactly.
Well, do you know what, Wendy? Watching the documentary, I can completely see because you are both smart,
we'd
strong,
like to think so.
independent. But watching it, you are, and then all of a sudden you got swept off your feet, and because you just wanted to share your life with somebody. How did eventually you realise it had all gone wrong, and then you get in court? Because it was the two of you got together via the police.
Which is the finest moment ever, ladies, may I say, the two of you together.
With me, it was the day we was going on holiday, and I walked up the road, his car came up, I thought, oh, is he like this? And he just put his hand up like that, spun the car around and went. That was it. And you think, hang on, what's happening? Cut a long story short, went to my house. My suitcase was back in the hall. The house had been more or less ransacked.
So he'd gone through the house?
Yeah. And you just don't know what to think. No. It's just, it's felt as though the house fell down on top of me. And then you don't, I don't know, you can't act straight away. You've got to think, well, actually, what has happened? What do I do now? You think, oh, Christ, what do I do? I rang him several times. That's when he was laughing down the phone and you stupid woman and whatever else he said. I think it was the next day I rang the police and then she more or less said, you stupid woman. I gave him the money because of shame and everything else and embarrassment, and it was my own fault. And I thought, no, it isn't my own fault. So it was the day after when you don't calm down because it's still there, but you can start thinking a bit more. And then you think, and you think, right, killer mode sets in. And I'm writing everything down of what I did not give him. I did not give him this, and I did not give him that. And then I rang the police back, and then it was brilliant. They was brilliant then after that. Right. But that initial phone call, no. But then,
Go on, Christine, you sort of reporting about the same person suddenly connected the two of you up.
Yeah.
And finally, he got caught.
Yes.
What's that moment like when he's when you're in court and you see he's being sort of held to account?
Do you know, it was mind-boggling in one sense to actually see him sort of almost like the rabbit in the headlights, that he'd been caught, and hearing sort of the judge say that he's like a little Walter Mitty style individual, and you know, sort of hearing the judge say thank you to sort of Wendy and myself, because you know we weren't going to let this go, and coming out and actually seeing blue sky for the first time in sort of almost 2 years, it was just brilliant. Yeah.
And it wasn't just you two, of course.
No, there was lots of other women.
And then plenty more that perhaps hadn't.
And that's what we are, the lucky ones, in one sense, because we are possibly that little bit stronger and that bit, our shoulders can take it type of thing. But there's people out there who can't. And that's what you've got to fight for, really.
Well, ladies, you fought for it. You got your power back, and hopefully anybody else who's sitting out there can learn from your experience.
Hopefully.
And those warning signs, Louise, as well, absolutely integral, aren't they?
And talk to your bank, firstly. So if you think that there's, if you are a victim,
that's a different...
Speak to your bank, report it, and then talk to your peers. That peer-to-peer support takes away the blame and the shame.
They're a powerful team.
They are. They certainly are. You can see the show on Netflix.
Yes, you can.
It's really good.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning. Back now then, we've all heard of Miss Universe, of course, Miss World, Miss Great Britain, but this year there's a new beauty pageant that's making the headlines.
The first of its kind, Miss Bariatric Beauty, was created to celebrate women who've had weight loss surgery.
Yeah, after being inspired to start the pageant following her own gastric sleeve surgery, Senna Michelle Jushaw is joining us on the sofa.
And we're also going to be speaking to 3 of the amazing contestants who took part, Iona, Lizzie and Rihanna.
So this is how they looked before they lost a staggering 30 stone between them. Let's see them now. Come on in, ladies.
They
really did, didn't they? Come Come and join us. Lovely to see you all.
I mean, you seriously gave that some welly, ladies. You wouldn't want to mess with you guys. How are you? Good morning. Good morning.
I think you might need to budge up a little bit to get all the girls on with their amazing outfits. Welcome. I think you all arrived as I arrived this morning, didn't you?
Yeah.
I didn't... It's funny because we turned up, we're not sure who's coming in, but to have so much glamour on the sofa is a real treat.
I know, all before 11 o'clock.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, look, we're joined now by Ona Thomas, who lost 10.5 stone since her gastric bypass last year. Lizzie Penman-Green, who lost 11 stone after having a gastric sleeve. And Rihanna Berry, who has dropped 8 stone after getting a gastric sleeve. Really wonderful to meet you all. Thank you all for coming and joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much. And first of all, let's say, not with the weight, but just you all look as though you exude so much confidence and glamour now. Well done, ladies. So, Senna, you started this this pageant. Why did you do it?
So, I had weight loss surgery in June 2021.
Yep.
Really unconfident, you know. There was times before that I didn't want to leave the house with my children because I just felt like people would look at me and judge me. I've lost 8.5 stone now, which is incredible. And last year I got approached by the Miss Great Britain Surrey regional director. And she said, I'd really like you to come and have a go. And I thought, you know what, why not? Let's just jump at new opportunities. And I absolutely just fell in love with pageantry and the values that Miss Great Britain has. So after that, you know, I just felt so empowered by the feeling, kind of the metaphor of putting yourself out there on stage, that I thought, I want to share this feeling. How can I do that? So I created the pageant to kind of encourage girls to just beat their fears and just put themselves out there and go for it. And it's kind of not just about, you know, beauty. I mean, they all look stunning, but it's not just about the beauty. It's about getting that confidence and saying yes to new opportunities following this journey, because I just think that's really important. So.
What operation did you have and how did you feel beforehand?
So I had a vertical sleeve gastrectomy.
Right.
So I had 80% of my stomach removed. Beforehand, like I say, I was really unconfident. I did have postpartum depression after my first baby, and I just didn't want to leave the house. You know, I stayed in dark clothes. I just didn't really feel like I was living. I was just existing in this body. So since having it, my life has changed so much. I've gained confidence in myself. You know, I go out, I'm happy to, you know, just go out and try new clothes. It's just such an incredible experience. And the opportunities it's given me since gaining confidence, I've kind of, you know, changed career paths a little bit because I didn't feel like I could interview for positions before. And now I have the confidence to sit there and say, this is me. Amazing.
It's amazing. Ona, let's talk about you, because when you hear about a competition like this, would you ever have entered a beauty competition?
Absolutely not. The self-esteem was not there. The confidence was not there. I've sort of suffered with my weight for such a long time. I just thought, oh, this is life now. Like, I'm not gonna go out and experience life. And it was only when I did have the gastric bypass and then noticed that things were changing and quite rapidly that I was like, oh, actually, I like this. I like life. I like getting out there. I like it all and I want to do it.
You like being seen? You like being noticed?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I really do. And I feel like, whereas before, even though I was bigger, I would try and take up as little space as possible. Whereas now, I'm not so big, but I'm just like, well, I'll fill the room, I don't mind. Like, yeah, I'm happy to.
You've got 2 little boys.
Yeah.
You can run around after, because that was one of the things that you were like, actually, I don't
It was
feel
my
fit
catalyst.
enough.
Yeah,
Right.
my catalyst for surgery was the boys. So I just had my second son, and he was 2 months old, and I just felt like I couldn't do the nights. Like, it was down to my husband. Like, I didn't have the energy. I was just a blob. I couldn't move, and I just thought I need to do something now because I want to give my children the best life. And although it is for me, it was originally for them, and it's just that out of that, it's ended up.
Lizzie, congratulations.
Hello.
You were crowned Miss Bariatric
I was.
Surgery. It's amazing. I can't, looking at all of you and watching these pictures pop up, it's incredible because, of course, you're there, but it's a different person that we're looking at now. What's your journey been like?
My journey has been really, really good. It's been a really good journey. Through going through the pageant, when people say it changed my life, I always think, no, it doesn't really. But actually, it did change my life.
Look, if you just look forward, if you look towards camera 2 there...
It's a different person.
I mean, that's...
I look like I ate myself.
You can say that, Lizzie, because it's your picture. You look like somebody who was obviously having a good time that day, but the difference now, you can see it in your eyes.
So before I was always confident. Even when I was big, I was confident, but it wasn't a real confidence. This is genuine confidence. Like I love myself. I actually really love who I am. My body carries around the vessel for my soul, and my soul is so special. So why wouldn't I want the best vessel for my soul?
It's so interesting, actually, Rihanna, how you can go and enter the competition, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And then it's literally like a springboard that takes you on the next stage of your life. And all these amazing opportunities open up, both personally and professionally.
Yeah, so I think after having my surgery, I got a lot of confidence back. I was able to get a promotion at work. I'm just able to do things I never thought I would. Like, I would have never entered a pageant ever. And then suddenly, you know, I first runner-up, and, you know, it was the most amazing experience. And just being able to take part and feel so empowered and to know that actually I do have worth, and I think that was a big thing to me.
Yeah.
Senna, listening to all of you talk about the increased confidence that you got, of course, there is a question about beauty pageants in themselves, actually, objectifying women who are going into beauty pageants to be considered. And I know it wasn't just about being beautiful, but that is a big part of it. There is sort of a slight conflict because all of you have felt objectified in the past when you were big.
Yeah, and I totally get that. I think pageantry in itself is definitely evolving. You know, it's not just about world peace and who's the prettiest woman anymore. It's not about that. And I think the girls have kind of realised that now from stepping into that world. And especially for Miss Bariatric, it was about celebrating what you've gained, not what you've lost.
Yeah.
And that was actually one of the scorings in their interviews that they did, was, you know, to mark them against how much this has actually changed their life and their journey as a whole. So, yeah, it's not about being conventionally pretty and beautiful. It's about the person and that beauty from within just being able to shine.
And there's actually, like, self-confidence classes you do too, right?
We did, yeah. So the day before, the girls all did a masterclass. That was actually, one of the sessions was held by the current reigning Miss Great Britain Surrey, which is Hayley Burton. And she has a platform called Confidence Crowd. So she came in and she did a session with the girls, and it was
amazing.
Incredible.
It was
life-changing.
I left that with more confidence than I knew how to carry. Like a little while, like 2 weeks before the pageant, I was going through a bit of a rough time, and I didn't feel good and I didn't feel confident. And when I left there, I felt like the most confident person.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, there were so many tears.
You can just see it in all of you.
For
and
sure.
very excitingly, Rihanna, you've just got engaged as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Look at her sparkler. God,
there you go.
lucky.
This is the moment. Oh, we got the ring. Go back to the big moment when your fiancé, who you've been with for a long time.
Yeah, I've been together for, it was our 8-year anniversary, actually, when he asked me, and I really wasn't expecting it at all. And, yeah, I just feel very lucky.
Amazing.
So cool.
I'm sure he does as well, Rihanna, more importantly.
Thank
He'll be
you.
thrilled to bits. Congratulations to all of you.
Yeah,
Senna,
very
thank you for coming in and sharing your stories with us, because it's really, really inspiring.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning. It's the hidden hazard in the bedroom that could scar you for life. Today, we're launching an urgent investigation to prevent the worrying number of serious burns being caused by old and dangerous hot water.
Yeah, despite the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents advising they should be replaced 2 years after being manufactured, we've uncovered several high street retailers currently selling hot water bottles made before October 2022.
One of those shops, Superdrug, has vowed to review their stock as a result of our findings.
Well, our consumer editor, Alice Beer, is joining us now, alongside Yasmin Hardy, who found out just how dangerous old water bottles can be when hers burst, leaving her with agonising burns and shocking scarring. Good morning to both of you.
Hi.
Yasmin, thank you for joining us this morning. They are shocking pictures of what happened to you. My wife is an avid hot water bottle user.
Yeah, so was I.
And I had no idea that there was this real concern that they have to be sort of... 2 years is the lifespan of a hot water bottle. Talk us about your use of hot water bottles and how long you've been having them and what happened on the day you got burned.
Yeah, so the doctors are sort of testing me for endometriosis at the moment, so I really struggle with painful periods. And it's just like I woke up first day of my period for me, and yeah, I use them pretty much the first 2 days of when I come on because I'm in just so much pain.
And there's a real relief that you get from that heat.
Yeah, like if I take my painkillers without the hot water bottle, I'll still be in pain. The hot water bottle makes it literally go away within half an hour, which has always been really good.
OK, so Alice, tell us about the guidelines around hot water bottles.
Yeah, I mean, this is worrying, and the worry is increasing. So the NHS Burns Association has reported an increase in serious burns. We're talking, you know, like Yasmin's burns in hot water bottles, up 42% over the last 2 years. And the British Burns Association says one person in the UK gets seriously scalded every single day filling or using a hot water bottle. So it's really important that we empower ourselves with this information, especially as they put it directly in relation. This is a cause and effect of the cost of living crisis.
Yes.
Because sales of hot water bottles have gone massively up. One high street source says increased by 200%. People trying to keep themselves warm rather than ramping up their heating. And as you've said, they're a source of comfort and familiarity. So consumers need to empower themselves with the information that they need. And yet there is huge concern and confusion on the high street. So the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents say that there is an expiry date of hot water bottles, which is 2 years from the date of manufacture. And you can tell the date of manufacture by studying your hot water bottle. We have a daisy wheel system. Now, this one here, you can see that here, not a hot water bottle burn, by the way, but you can see the year in the middle, and you can count the segments that have dots in, and as you go around, you can see that this is the 7th month. So this was made in the 7th month of the year, which is July, in 19... what century am I in 2022, OK? And actually, the last dots tell you it was the 3rd week of that month.
So that's only got 9 months left in it for it to be beyond itself.
If you listen to ROSPA, but we went around the high street, all the major retailers, there was plenty of stock 2023, 2024, 2022. But we did also find, for example, this Marks and Spencer's teddy bear, you know, really lovely, cuddly soul, perfect for a gift. His daisy wheel system shows 2021.
So that's out.
According to ROSPA, this would be past its safe expiry date. But the manufacturers and retailers stress that they use the expiry date as from the date you first use it and not from the date it is first made. And Marks and Spencer's, Boots and Superdrug have all said that all their hot water bottles are tested to a British standard, which is really important that you look for that British standard mark that is on all hot water bottles. You'll see it, the BS 1970 2012. And it's really important that you look for that. Superdrug have said that they are going to review their stocks on the shelves because I think this is too confusing. So what do? You've got a hot water bottle with a date on it and you think, well, I know it was made then, but when did I start using it? What are we supposed to do? Start writing dates on them? It's too confusing for consumers. And if you're in Australia, the government there says, absolutely, no hesitation, you should replace your hot water bottles every year from the date of manufacture.
Right.
We'll come on to whether there's sort of, you know, the environmental impact of all of that
Absolutely,
plastic.
and that's huge.
So, Yasmin, you use yours to help with your endometriosis, which you're being diagnosed with at the moment. What went wrong the day you got that badly burnt?
It literally just split down the side of the seam. So, obviously, I boiled the kettle, poured the water straight in, and sat on the sofa, and within 30 seconds, like, I thought I didn't screw the lid on properly, because, like, that happening, like, I just never thought that was a possibility. So I thought, oh, I haven't screwed the lid on. And yeah, it just poured all over me.
And it was only when you got back from the hospital that you were able to check that and you saw it split.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's actually not my fault.
Were you aware of the dates?
No.
Because until I researched this story, I had no idea that was actually what you were supposed to do.
You wouldn't think it would be a thing. Like, you think it was food quite naturally, but, like, plastic, you just wouldn't... Well, I personally didn't think.
No.
Did you? So now you know, was it a long past those 2 years?
I think mine was dated 19. So I think mine was
19?
Yeah, 2019.
So you'd had it for it's 2019?
Yeah,
so
I'd had it a long time, yeah.
And used it regularly.
And been using it regularly?
A lot,
Yeah.
like once
Are
a
you
month.
supposed to put boiling water in?
Absolutely not.
Right,
And many of
okay.
the scalds and injuries that people are seeing, that these burns units are seeing, are from people putting boiling water inside, and that is an absolute no-no. Not only would it perish the rubber, and you know, there needs to be an awareness of what these are made of.
Yep.
These are made of partly or fully rubber. And rubber perishes, rubber ages, rubber degrades. And one of the things that would degrade it is putting boiling water in it. Also storing it with something on top of it. Also keeping it in a very hot place. So many permutations of how you can increase the risk from a hot water bottle.
But also...
And yet, you know, we don't know.
With the drive that we're having now to be much more environmentally conscious, the fact that we're supposed to replace those every 2 years, and that's a lot of plastic that's just going to get replaced every 2 years, that feels like an opportunity for somebody to come up with an alternative that is safer and also ethically and environmentally friendlier.
Well, there are degrees to which you can recycle some of these products, and of course there are plenty of available other sort of microwave wheat bags and other kinds like that that will do, or lavender bags that will do sort of pretty much similar job. But, you know, people are very fond of their hot water bottles. You know, there's some 500,000 of these in homes around the world, around the UK. You know, the figures of their sales is really high. People aren't suddenly going to stop using hot water bottles, and they don't need to. They just need the awareness, and they need the lack of confusion between retailers and the safety organisations. If you go onto many of the NHS Trust websites, they will say don't use them older than 2 years from manufacturing date. And yet the retailers say, no, it's from the date of first use.
I use, excuse me, Yasmin, are you still using hot water bottles?
No, I don't.
So you've stopped?
I'm a bit traumatised by the whole thing now.
It would be really frightening.
Yeah.
And how is your scarring doing?
It's healing really well. Like, when I was getting, like, my dressings redone, mine was healing the best because I jumped straight in the shower after I burnt myself, which is super important. If you do burn yourself,
and that was something your mum had told you, wasn't it?
Yeah, as a kid, when you burn yourself, just run it under cold water. So mine's healing really well, but there's some people who are a lot worse off than me, so I'm really lucky, to be honest.
Well, look, Yasmin, thank you for coming and sharing your story as well. It's really timely. I literally sat there with Annie last night and I looked at hers, and hers was 2023, so she's got another year on it. But as she rightly said, but I don't want to get rid of it if it's working carefully. Is there some way of us protecting them and making them last long?
Well, number one, take the cover off and look at it, examine it and make sure it's safe, OK? And we'll put some other safety hints on the website because it's really important. You check it for splits, check the date and make sure that it doesn't leak, and don't fill it with boiling water. Some really top tips, but we'll put them on the website.
Thank you, Alice. Yasmin,
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
I'm hooked already. Tanya joins us live from Missouri now to share her story. Good morning there, Tanya.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
How are you guys?
We're very good, but we're very intrigued by this. Chimp Crazy is available on Sky Documentaries and Now at the moment. But you're known as the Chimp Crazy Lady. I mean, what is it about chimpanzees that you love so dearly?
Oh, they're totally amazing. Very loyal, very loving. You couldn't imagine being around one. And once you are, you just can't help yourself.
Yeah. No, I absolutely, I get that. But obviously, most of us are kind of used to seeing them in a zoo or a safari park. So how is it you started to gain ownership of them in the first place?
There was a lady up in Missouri, up in St. Louis area, that needed some help. She was being sued by PETA, and I wanted to help her. She told me her story, and she needed some help desperately, so I went up there to try to help her.
Lovely. And you ended up with 7 chimps in the end, but there was something about Tonka that you absolutely loved. I love the fact that your name's very similar. Tanya and Tonka.
Yes, he was the most amazing chimp in the world. He had been in a human environment his whole entire life. So he was just like a big kid, but he was very, very much dependent upon you and very, very, like I said, very loving.
Yeah.
What was his likes and dislikes? Tell us a little bit about him. What did he love doing?
Oh, he loved being on his iPad, watching like videos of different chimpanzees, and he loved watching TV. And of course, he loved to eat. He loved, you know, his fruit and his vegetables, and he also liked an occasional spaghetti.
Okay.
I can't believe he had an iPad. That's unbelievable.
Tonya, obviously we know that, you know, chimps and all the great apes are very intelligent mammals. So a lot of people are watching this, and the natural question people would ask was, why would you take on the ownership of an animal like this and not want it to be in a more suitable climate, say a safari park or a good zoo or so forth? What would be your answer to that?
Well, under normal circumstances, if that's how they were raised, that's okay. But Tonka had always been in Hollywood since he was a baby, and then he lived with humans his whole entire life. So he wasn't your typical chimpanzee. He definitely was humanized.
So he was, like, used to the luxury lifestyle, as you say. One of the most shocking moments in the series is when you actually was under oath and you actually said that he had died, when in fact you was actually storing him in your basement. Why did you do that? Why did you lie so badly in that moment? Why?
Well, you got to realize at the time I had told PETA he had passed away, and we had had another chimp pass away earlier in the case, and, you know, they just accepted the fact that she had died. So I had no idea that they would send it to the court. So I wasn't anticipating that. I underestimated PETA. So hence I ended up lying to the courts. Not that I wanted to, or not that I condone that, or nor would I want anybody else to do it. It just got too far in lying. So I had to.
So was there a chance that you could have had a custodial sentence then? Could you have gone to prison?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh,
Wow.
awful.
So how were the circumstances work out that you didn't go to prison, given that you lied under oath?
There's still potential pending charges. So, you know, they relived it once the docuseries came out. So I'm not sure what's going to happen.
So are you glad you took part in the series? Now you've watched it, do you think it's an accurate depiction on your experiences? How did you find the whole thing?
No, it was very cheeky and just, you know, basically it had an agenda, and they sided with that agenda instead of telling the whole facts. And they cut and pasted a lot of things because there was so much footage, because that was a almost 4-year running situation, and it's very little footage compared to what they had. And like I said, they spliced it to meet their agenda.
And what do you believe that agenda to be, Tonya?
Well, you know, they did Tiger King, and they did that for the Big Cat Safety Act, and I think they did it for the Primate Safety Act to get it passed.
Okay.
Do you think Tonka would be better off living with you?
Oh, yeah. And I think Tonka feels that way, too, and I've challenged them to let me go down with my transporter cage, no sedation drug, and ask him if he wanted to get in and come home, and if he does, are they going to let me come and take him home?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad. We have got a right of reply that we need to read.
Pete from PETA US, who also appeared in Chimp Crazy, says, when Tonya Haddock faked Tonka's death and kept him captive in the basement to prevent his court-ordered rescue, she denied him the opportunity to receive expert veterinary care, fresh air, and socialise with other chimpanzees, all of which he has now had the accredited sanctuary where he's thriving. PETA is delighted to have ended this cruel chapter of his life and is pushing for the US Department of Agriculture to revoke Haddock's Federal Animal Welfare Act licence, which allows her to continue to exploit animals, and for the US government to prosecute her for lying in federal court, which is quite punchy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's typical PETA.
Well, I mean, obviously, you know, the series goes out on the 6th of October, so we haven't had the luxury of seeing it yet, and it's always good to hear every side of a case. But so what would you want to do going forward? Because your heart's obviously in the right place. You love these animals. So is there a world where you can meet in the middle, do you think, with Peter or PETA and maybe, you know, both sides are happy?
You know, I don't know. The attorney that was for PETA is no longer with them, so they've got a new one. So I've not had the opportunity to speak with them to figure out if there was something that we could do that would make both of us happy.
Because you have a zoo now, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us, Tonya, and telling your story. I can tell why they call you the Dolly Parton of chimps now, because you actually do resemble her a little bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and have a great day.
You too, darling, you too.
Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, listen, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning. Oh, I can't wait to see this book now. Well, keeping the tradition alive, we're joined now by stars from the Ripley's Believe It or Not 2025. Mike Foley, a dentist based in Florida who was literally can pull cars with his teeth.
Saw him, right?
And the world's most flexible girl, Liberty Barrows from Peterborough.
Hey.
Morning to both of you.
Morning. Mike, we'll start with you, because when I read my notes, the first thing I got was his fascination started when he used to collect shark teeth on the beach. I get that. I love sharks. But that wouldn't necessarily lead me to doing that. So how did you go from collecting sharks? Because you grew up in Florida, right?
I grew up in Florida.
Yeah.
But I'm terribly sorry about your bird.
Oh, don't worry.
I'm just happy it's the only thing that
don't
broke.
worry, don't worry. I'm sure we got another 6 out of the back.
You mean Swifty? The bird was
we've got replacements.
Don't worry. Good. But I've been collecting my whole life, and that's actually what brought me to this. I've been collecting shark's teeth since I was a child. I used to find them on the beach in Florida.
Yeah.
And my collection started initially with fossils. After a few years, my collection evolved into more oddities, but also circus-related objects. Florida's got an amazing circus history. A lot of the performers would spend their winters in an area of Florida called Gibsonton, which is about 20 minutes from where I live.
Yeah.
The rich circus owners would spend their winters in Sarasota. That's where they've got the beautiful Ringling Museum and his big, beautiful estate. And so I started collecting circus-related objects as well. And one of the objects that I won at an auction was a mouthpiece that looks very similar to mine. It was about 100 years old, and it was a mouthpiece that a trapeze artist would hang.
I remember
from her
when you
teeth.
see trapeze artists holding that.
And so that act is called the iron jaw or the human butterfly, because sometimes they would hang from their teeth and they would flap their arms to really demonstrate that they're not holding on to anything except with their teeth. And so when I saw that mouthpiece, I thought this is quite simple and maybe, crude. With my dental training and my expertise, I could probably fabricate something that's a bit safer. And so I did.
But then, I get that. But then, like, when you first start, how do you work out that your teeth, I know your teeth are bones and they're strong, but how do you work out that they're not going to fall out or you're not going to hurt yourself?
He's a dentist, Babby, knows whether the...
I mean, with my training and with kind of the principles I use to manufacture this with, I felt confident that my teeth would be able to handle
your neck and your shoulders?
That does seem to be the part that I notice is the most uncomfortable. My teeth feel great. I hardly feel any discomfort with my teeth at all. But I noticed that my neck, that's sort of the connecting point as well to the rest of your body.
And that's where it hurts.
And that's where I noticed the strain. But I'm not the biggest person. Maybe I need to just...
Yeah, you need to get in the gym, do some neck movements. You do a bit of neck.
A little bit of neck, but not like that.
Tell me, why did you progress to a car? Because you didn't work up to a car, did you? You just thought, you know what, I'm going to pull my car.
So with my original mouthpiece, my first thought was to recreate what the trapeze artist did. So I connected it to my children's swing in the backyard.
Yeah.
And I had a stool underneath it, and I climbed up and I was biting on it. And this is
your kids going around.
At the exact moment my wife came home from picking her kids up from school. And so she catches me mid-act and she says, "What are you doing?" She sees a rope hanging from the tree and I'm on a stool and I'm hooking this as she's concerned. And I said, "I'm going to hang from my teeth." And she says, "You're not going to be able to do that for 2 seconds." And I said, "I've already looked it up. The world record's 7 minutes." And so as I was attempting it, I realized very quickly that my teeth could handle it, but my neck wasn't quite where it needed to be to hang my full body weight. Because truly the trick, I think, is to be a small person, right? A lot of the circus performers weigh 90, maybe 100 pounds. I'm like about 160, and so I could tell I was putting about 100 pounds of pressure on the appliance before it got uncomfortable. And I'm a practicing dentist. I was doing fillings this Wednesday. And so I didn't want to give myself a disability claim. And so I thought, that's too dangerous. And so I thought, well, I'm putting 100 pounds of pressure on. I could do something.
I think it's absolutely incredible.
Parse in the natural
Liberty, we have to move on to you. Where did you discover you had this incredible talent?
Well, what's weird is I was actually never flexible when I was younger at all. I wasn't flexible at all. I would try and do like things like dance, gymnastics, or anything athletic.
Yeah.
And somehow every time I would just end up with my face in the floor. I'd literally crumble like a cookie.
I hope we have Rihanna to thank for this.
I was
Is that right?
good.
Rihanna's the reason, Umbrella?
Yeah, it's coming up. So basically, I had a breathing difficulty, so I actually couldn't do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, I'd sound a bit funny when I talked and everything. And it was only when I was 10 years old, I was watching a Rihanna music video, and I copied a dance move she did in it, and I bent my body backwards. And after that, my breathing difficulty went away. And so I continued practicing because that's what got me healthy. So I was like, why not continue practicing? And then when I was 12, I added in animation dance movements so that I would be flexible all throughout my body. And that's how I started.
So can you show us some of your go-to moves?
Okay, I'll show you some of my favourite moves.
Yeah. I love this.
So this one is actually known...
Face the audience, the audience. Yeah, let them see.
This one I have the world record for, and it's known as the world's most flexible backbend movement. And since I got the record, some people have been calling it the Liberty Lowdown. So this is kind of a fun
Liberty
one.
Lowdown.
Come on, Liberty.
Here we go.
Let's see.
Go on, Liberty. Oh my gosh, Liberty. And Liberty, are you in any pain whatsoever doing this?
No, but I will say, I've been on a lot of plane journeys recently, and I'm a bit stiff today, and I got this mic, so I'm trying to do the best I can.
Liberty, do you have to warm up in the morning? Like when you wake up, do you have to stretch and stuff?
Yeah, I do a little bit of warm-up through yoga and dancing. Yeah. Every morning.
It's absolutely unbelievable. And where have you performed this, then?
I've performed all over the world. Like, I was just... it's really, really crazy. I was just in Asia, touring Asia, doing performances. Then I was just in America, Los Angeles, then New York, and now I'm back here, and I'm really tired.
Well, whale of a time, yeah.
But it's been awesome.
Well, listen, congratulations, guys. I mean, the fact you're both
in the book.
in Ripley's Believe It or Not, which is the Spark Your Curiosity. That's the annual, which is out now. I mean, you know, when you are doing something more unusual with your body, this is kind of... That's the Bible, really, isn't it?
Oh, really, yes.
Oh, there you are. Look at you.
How does it feel to be in the book?
Hey, that's this morning right there.
Is it?
Yeah, look.
This one?
This one right here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did that record right here, right in the studio.
Did you?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Unbelievable. And there's you, Mike. There you go.
Your next year's picture, Mike, can be you killing our bird and bringing it to
Thank you so much for joining us, Liberty and Mike. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.
Now, last night, Prince Harry joined a very special group of people for a glitzy awards ceremony.
The Well Child Awards recognise the bravery of children across the UK living with a serious illness or disability. And this year, This Morning, had a very own award, and picking a winner has been a real family affair.
Hi guys, I'm here for a very important task because I'm here to choose the recipient of the This Morning Special Recognition Award for the Well Child Awards. I mean, no pressure then.
It's a really special award. It's the first time we've done it and we're really excited about it.
What's really difficult is the fact that we're going to have to choose one person to win this award, and I don't know where to start.
Alison and the team had such a tough decision to make, but they needed to reach a verdict.
They are all showing an incredible amount of resilience despite what they're going through on a daily basis.
Can we not give 4 awards? I think we've decided. It's that one. Well done, guys. Well done.
Out of all the worthy nominees, one young man really stood out. 11-year-old Lewis is funny, brave, and the life and soul of every part of nature deserve to be recognised. So we sent Sean to his primary school in Halifax for a little surprise.
Now, the camera crew are in his lesson right now. He thinks they're there to film his teachers. Little does he know, we are about to surprise him. Oh, I love things like this. Follow me. Hello. Sorry to interrupt. I'm looking for a Lewis Connett. Is there a Lewis here? Are you Lewis? Would you mind coming up here and joining me up here? Get everyone give him a round of applause. Woo! Have you got any idea why we could be filming today? No. So Mum and Dad are here as well for a very special reason, OK? You have been awarded the ITV This Morning Special Recognition Well Child Award, everybody. Woo! Oh! So next week, you're going to come with your mum and dad, and you're going to go down to London. Prince Harry is going to be there as well. Can I have a cuddle? Yeah. Well done, Lewis.
I'm really excited to meet Prince Harry and be having a award ceremony.
Well done, Shan. Isn't that a great photograph? Look at all the smiling faces swamping their pal Lewis. Good stuff. Right, this is the red stroke purple carpet, and all the celebs and Lewis and his buddies are going to walk along here, as will Prince Harry. But as we speak, they are in a secret room somewhere. I think we better track them down, don't you? Tell me everything. Everything. Don't leave out any details. What happened?
I went in there and told Prince Harry.
And did you ask him any questions?
No.
You didn't? Were you scared?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He's tall, isn't he?
Yeah.
I know. Did he shake your hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Show me what kind of handshake it was. Was it like a real strong one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you tempted to give him one of these? No? I saw a bag you had in your hand. Were they Bradford City jerseys?
No. They were Ollie and Ellie from all day.
Did you give them to him?
Yeah.
For his children?
They said that's amazing.
I'm so excited for you today. You have a brilliant time, won't you? Well, the red carpet is absolutely buzzing. Lewis is ready, but I gotta get ready too, because I have a very, very important job. He's just such a fantastic kid. I can't wait for you to meet him. Would you please welcome on stage the winner of the ITV This Morning Special Recognition Award, the brilliant Lewis Collins.
I'm going to put it on myself in my bedroom. Feel really proud of myself, and it is the best day ever.
Oh, Lewis, what a night. The award is there. How was last night?
It was amazing.
Was it? What time did you get to bed?
20 past midnight.
20 past midnight?
Yeah, you don't turn into a pumpkin. I normally turn into a pumpkin after 12. Donna, you must be so proud.
Oh, we are, yeah. We're really proud of Lewis and all of the family and everything that everyone does to help us on the way.
It's an extraordinary place, Alderhay. I have first-hand experience because my friend George raised a load of money for his little brother years ago, and they are incredible, aren't they? It's a wonderful facility.
Oh, it's amazing. It doesn't feel like a hospital. We're really lucky. We've got a great team, haven't we? A craniofacial team who look after us, and everyone's lovely. Everyone who works there, from the ladies who work in the canteen to the charity office, all the way up to the surgeons. Yeah,
I love it.
Very special place. So, tell me, what was Prince Harry like? Was he a nice chap?
Yeah, he was a nice chap.
Was he? And did you show him? Because I know you've met the Queen before, haven't you?
Yeah. His grandma.
So did you show him pictures of his grandma too? Did you?
What did he make of those pictures? Because they're quite fun pictures, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about when Lewis met his grandma, Donna.
So we got selected to hand the flowers to the Queen when the Alderhay New Hospital opened. Everything was going fine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then at the last minute, all the cameras took a picture. And literally, Lewis burst out crying.
What did Prince Harry say when he saw that picture of you giving some flowers to his gran?
He said, that's my grandma.
Oh, so cool.
She looks absolutely amazing.
What we know is you love your cricket. You are a massive cricket fan. How amazing was it to be on the table with Johnny Bairstow yesterday?
It was really good.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about his love of cricket, Donna.
So Lewis plays cricket. He plays for our local cricket club. You won the league this year, didn't you?
Yeah. Congratulations.
Under 11s. But he loves watching it, playing it, and that's his first thing that he asks to do once he's well after a surgery. When can I play cricket again? When can I play cricket?
And he obviously he faces all these obstacles really bravely and brilliantly, but you're also raising so much money as well, over £80,000. What's your next plan?
So what's next?
In November we start out tonight, and next
spring
we're climbing Snowdon.
Oh wow!
You're climbing Snowdon. Are you in training already?
So Lewis has got double foot surgery coming up in November, so we can't do it till after then. And then after then, Lewis is adamant he wants to climb Snowdon.
Wow, that's amazing. And I've heard you've got something for us as well this morning, do you?
Yeah.
Is this right?
Wow.
What, is this an invitation to climb Snowdon? I'm not sure I could do that, Lewis. Let's have a look. Oh, a great big thank you.
Lewis, that's lovely.
That is absolutely lovely. Thank you so much.
We are thrilled to bits
Yeah.
to have you on the show today. Well done for everything that you're doing. Keep being you, Lewis, because it's a really special, infectious energy that you have. Thank you, Donna, for coming in.
Thank you.
You can get some sleep now.
Yeah.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
But first, 2 years ago, Deirdre sat on our sofa to reveal that after experiencing symptoms, doctors discovered a cluster of malignant cells in her right breast.
So Deirdre underwent successful treatment for breast cancer, but her recent annual checkout revealed early signs that, sadly, it has returned.
Never one to shy away from difficult conversations, ever, actually, Deirdre.
Well,
ever.
it's my job in a way, isn't it? That's what I do, is help people have difficult conversations. So if I can't have my own, it'd be a poor show.
But it is a truly amazing thing that you're sitting here now and we're going to talk
thank
about
you.
it.
Thank
really
you.
is. Deirdre's with us now, as well as Dr. Nigat, who's joining us this morning. Good morning. So what happened, Deirdre?
So because I had breast cancer 2 years ago, I now get an annual mammogram, and totally to my surprise, the mammogram showed up that I've got, it's a different breast, it's the left breast this time.
Yeah.
And there was it's tiny, but malignant cancer in there. So unfortunately, I have got to have a lumpectomy and followed by radiotherapy. But I mean, I feel lucky, you know, it's been caught early. The treatment's happening very rapidly. I should have surgery on October the 11th, which is like in no time.
Wow.
And this is all on the NHS, so I just think I am so lucky.
With
and
it-
it just could be so much worse.
When you went along, had you had any symptoms, Deirdre? Nothing like the first time
No,
round?
nothing. Well, and also, to be honest, I think the symptoms I had the first time around, I think they were a coincidence. They weren't actually a symptom of the cancer itself, as it turned out. But it happened that efficient GP practice put me on the cancer pathway, so I got very rapid check and treatment that time.
So you haven't felt run down, you haven't felt
I
any
haven't
different
felt
at all?
run down, I haven't felt tired, I haven't had any discomfort.
Pains.
If I did a self-check, I couldn't feel anything because it's so tiny, there's nothing to feel. So it's purely down to having the mammogram that showed it up. And then you get referred back, and I had an ultrasound and a biopsy, which then revealed that it was actually a cancer.
And what went through your mind when that diagnosis happened?
Well, this time, to be honest, shock.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because I felt fine.
Yeah.
And I was just so taken aback. I just wasn't expecting it at all. And I suppose I just want to bring this in early, because my big point about this, why I really want to talk about it, is that on the NHS system, I'm not sort of criticising it, breast check, mammograms stop, the call for mammogram stops when you're 70. The last one you get is when you're 70. I happen to have been in a cohort of women that got missed. There was a big accident happened that year, and we didn't get called. So I hadn't had, when I got last time, you know, I hadn't had a mammogram since I was 67, so 10 years had gone by. And I hadn't given it a thought. I hadn't thought, oh, no one's called me for a mammogram. Oh, I ought to go. And I didn't know anything about it, really. But what I now know is that if you're over 70, you can request a mammogram on the NHS, and you should get one every 3 years. And I just want to say to everyone out there, please, if you're a woman over 70, request your mammogram, you know, because the reason why I've had quite an easy time, and I'm just having a lumpectomy last time and this time, because it was caught so early. You know, if it's missed for, you know, years, you're so much more likely to have a mastectomy or worse.
So the treatment you will have for this lumpectomy is similar to what you've had.
It's same as I had
one.
before. So it's just, I mean, it was same surgeon as it happens. It was just a tiny little thing. You know, so they take it out, followed by radiotherapy, which is completely painless and easy. And that is just so brilliant. And compared with what happens if it's become more advanced, it's transformative.
Dr. Nigger, time really is of the essence here, isn't it?
Yeah.
What would you recommend to people?
I was actually saying to Deirdre backstage, we had a kiss and a cuddle this morning. I was saying 2 years ago, I sat on the sofa when you first came up with the very early signs. And then 2 years later, we'd come back and it's in the other breast. And actually, this is well within what we would see in the remit of someone who's had cancer. And then they will find that it's in the other and the boob as well, or sometimes in the same boobs. We do have two breasts. And men, there's a small proportion of men that also get breast cancer. So I would say to anybody watching, self-checking is where it starts. So regardless of who you are, what gender, lifelong, once a month. If it's women, if you're still having your periods, then I would say a week after you've had your bleed, having a good feel around. But as Deirdre has just said, that actually she didn't pick anything up. And so that's why going to your mammogram appointments is so great. So the screening programme on the NHS starts at the age of 50 and you get invited every 3 years. But it does stop at 70. But you are absolutely entitled to request that after the age of 70, that you still get called every 3 years. And that's simply making a phone call to your local breast screening clinic. And the statistics are amazing. Through breast screening, so I looked at the data from Cancer Research UK, and we found that in 2021, 2022, we don't have the figures for 2023, 2024 fully yet, but 11,000 women were picked up with breast cancer who had no symptoms. So they didn't even feel a breast lump.
Nothing at all.
So 11,000 women's lives were saved. And actually, that could be very, very early. So time is of the essence, picking it up, going for your screening. And we know that actually it's not the best test for younger women, but women over 50, it is as good as we're going to get at the moment. And there's always constantly research and data. And 5-year survival is nearly 99, 100% post-cancer diagnosis. So women are now outliving their diagnosis of breast cancer,
which is great.
Great.
Why does it stop at 70?
There's lots of different factors. It's because the idea is that the estrogen that affects our cells, well, the effect is lessened as we get older.
Right.
That's not the case for everybody because we make estrogen through our adipose or fat tissue, and our brain constantly makes it as well when we're postmenopausal. And also the idea is that there was a cost implication to it, we have to say that, and demand on services. And actually we found that the rates of cancer were decreasing in women over the age of 70. So it's multifactorial, but those are some of the sort of key highlights.
But I think also as an individual, I just want to say, yes, I mean, I understand about the economics of the NHS. As an individual, get your check.
Yes.
And make that
it's your health.
And actually, we do have more information. We've got information about how to check yourself. You can head out to This Morning app where Dr. Sarah has a video that tells you all you need to know.
Deirdre, obviously, we're here and we're with you every step of this way. I wonder how your family were when they found out, because it's a terrifying time from the outside. You're amazingly positive, and you always have been, but it's scary, right?
Yeah, I think it was a shock to us all because when I went for the initial check and even had the biopsy, they were so confident that there was nothing there because it's so tiny. So it was a shock for me, and obviously it was a shock for them for me to suddenly have to say, well, I'm sorry, folks, it turns out I have actually got cancer. But, you know, I've got 2 daughters who are just great and, you know, they're just dropping everything to be supportive and drive me to hospital and things like that. I am known as a difficult person to help.
We've probably got a phone line for that, Deirdre.
So initially I was saying to my daughter who's taking a day's compassionate leave in order to drive me to hospital, I was saying, no, it'll be fine, I can get there on the train and attack. She's saying, do you actually want to be alone? Well, no. Well,
shut up then, listen, I'm coming.
Just let me come and help, you know.
Yeah.
They're good. No, they're great. And I think, like me, I think it helps them to actually be involved, do something, is great. So, no, the family are just wonderful.
Well, thank you.
And I'm lucky that I've got family to be supportive because I really feel for people who have to go through this sort of thing really
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.